What's going on, everybody? Today we have the 2018 Chevrolet Silverado LT Z71 package. My name is Nolan. I'm going to show you the outside of the vehicle, the inside of the vehicle, all the neat features, and we're going to go for a drive. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in for this 2018 Chevy Silverado LT Z71. Before I get started, I want to give a big thank you to Britain Chevrolet. Britain Chevy is in Greenville, Texas. They were nice enough to let me show you guys this vehicle. If you're in the DFW area, please check them out. Starting right here up front, standard on all Silverados, we get HID headlights, and that on this trim we have that LED strip right underneath the headlight. You can upgrade and get LED headlights in higher trims, but the HID is still much better than standard halogen. As you can see with the Z71, we have some distinct features with that. We have that badging right there in the front. We have the colored bumpers down there as well. We do have fog lights and recovery hooks down below. One cool thing about the Silverado is there are so many different special editions. In fact, here we have the Texas edition. As you can see, that big badge on the side of the truck. On this model, we have 18-inch wheels with 265 width tires. In other features, we have mirrors that are the same paint color as the rest of the truck, unlike chrome like you can get in different trims. This is the crew cab model. You also will see the Z71 off-road package sign right back there, the decal on the back of the truck. This truck gives us 8.9 inches of ground clearance. Some features with that Z71 package are all-terrain tires, off-road suspension with Rancho shocks, skid plates, hill descent control, as well as a heavy-duty automatic locking rear differential, which can come in handy especially if you don't want to shift into four-wheel drive. One cool thing is that Chevy gives us their signature step in the bumper. It's nice and wide, easy to use, and to get back into the bed of the truck. One thing that's really nice and handy on a lot of new trucks is on this Silverado we have an easy lower and lift tailgate. So we pull that, and instead of it collapsing down, it softly lets it down. Plus, when you lift it up, it's nice and easy. You can do it one-handed, no problem. The Texas edition here gives us a spray-in bed liner that feels nice and durable. With this configuration, we can put 2,120 pounds in the bed of the truck for payload. However, the max is 2,250 depending on your configuration. We can also conventionally tow 10,700 pounds with this configuration, but if you upgrade with their engine, you can do 12,500 pounds. You can opt for a cargo management system, but even if you don't, you still get 4 standard tie downs, 2 on each side of the bed that are heavy duty and rated at a pretty good weight. In this model, we do have cloth seats. If you move up in trim level, you can get leather seats. These do still have power adjustability with lumbar support. The steering wheel is a tilt-only steering wheel. It does not telescope, so you'd have to upgrade for that. However, it seems to be in a pretty good spot. Overall, these seats are wide and accommodating, and I have a ton of headroom at 5'9". Don't have any obstructions of my legs. It's good to go. This trim in the Silverado does not have the smart key system. However, we get remote start, and that means we get good old-fashioned starting with the key. You can hear the 5.3 liter V8 there. Right away, I'm going to start on this door. We do get a mix of hard and soft touch surfaces. It is a soft armrest, pretty good amount of storage down below and right there. I really like this big, thick door handle as well. One of my favorite things about these Silverados, I had a 2006 Silverado, is the four-wheel drive control. There's an auto button, so you can have it in auto, and it will automatically stay in two-wheel drive unless it senses slippage, kind of like an all-wheel drive system, but then it will shift into 4-high when it needs to. And it's pretty seamless, so you don't have to be shifting in and out of four-wheel drive if you're going in and out of wet conditions. We have our light controls over here. These knobs are really nice and soft and feel good around them. We do have a leather-wrapped steering wheel. You can even get a heated leather-wrapped steering wheel on the higher trims. There is a digital display right there with traditional clusters. There's some nice blue background lighting in there, which gives us a nice touch, and you can even see the Z71 symbol over there on the left. There are steering wheel controls. We can control that display with these buttons right over here, as well as voice control. This is a 4-spoke design, and it's a comfortable steering wheel to hold. Our shifter gives us our tow haul mode, which will change the transmission shifts when you're towing for optimal towing. We also have an 8-inch screen right here. 7-inch screens are standard on lower trims, but we get the 8-inch MyLink system right here. Pretty easy to use controls. This is also a touch screen. Going down a little further, we have dual zone automatic climate control, thank you to the Texas edition. Lower trims, single climate is standard, but we do have dual zone here. Got our traction control button, cargo lights right here, and LED cargo lights are available for the bed of the truck, as well as hill descent control right there. As we move down a little bit further, we have a hidden little storage compartment right there. Plus, we have 2 separate charging outlets. Right there, we have our 12-volt plus your standard 3-volt or 3-prong outlet right there. There's no shortage of center console space. We have 3 cup holders here, as well as 3 individual little slots right there. A phone can fit nicely there. These are some decent sized cup holders. Let's do the bottle test. And it is snug, but it does fit. This top right here has a nice non-slip pad, as well as 2 soft armrests for you and your passenger. On higher trims, you can get a wireless charging pad right here. If we open up this massive console, we have a plug-in or 2 USB chargers right there, as well as a 12-volt power outlet down below. This does have a divider in it, plus you get a little holder right there. In addition to all the center console space here, we can move this out of the way and you turn it into a 6-seater with a middle seat. Plus, underneath of here, we have additional storage. As we go up above, Chevy gives you a vanity mirror with 2 lights, as well as sliding visors. We do get nice bright lighting right here on both sides actually. It lights up the cab pretty well. Standard sunglass holder, and for your shorter passengers, they get a grab bar over there. We do get 2 glove boxes right here. This top one is a smaller locking unit with a small shelf, plus a plug-in right there. Down below, we have a bigger glove box, more traditional right here. I want to go back to this information display right here. Don't pay any attention to the miles per gallon because I've been sitting here idling for a little while, but I want to show you some of the information you can scroll through. All your information with your trip computer, your audio, phone, navigation, and you can customize this with the options tab right there. If I just scroll through, you can see the digital speedometer, your trip computer, etc., and then everything else that you'll see with those other sections. As we move over to the screen, of course, we have a backup camera when we shift into reverse. This also does have the dynamic guidance lines, which is always nice to have. To get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you just plug in your phone, have the projection button right there. And if you have that, a lot of people will use that. Otherwise, this is a pretty easy to use system. As you can see, you have your options right here. You can customize what you see on the screen. Everything is pretty easy to use, and it's a pretty responsive touchscreen as well. Standard, we have a 6-speaker system, but you can get a Bose sound system on higher trims. In the backseat of the Silverado, there's no wonder they call it a crew cab because there's a ton of space back here. I can lounge out, put a lot of room under the seat for my feet. Got plenty of knee space right here. This seat and the front seat are about set where a 5'9" person like me would sit comfortably in those seats. I have tons of headroom, tons of elbow room over here. Still get a soft armrest, plus a center folding armrest with 2 cup holders. If I move to the middle, I am sitting a little higher and this back is pretty stiff. There is a little bit of a floor hump, but not as much as you would expect. You could fit someone back here for a decent trip or a child, no problem at all. Since this will probably be used as a family vehicle as well, I'm going to go through the back seat real quick. We have a storage compartment there, storage compartment there, storage compartment down below. Tons of storage for anybody in the back seat. Like I said, I do have tons of legroom right here. The back seat, we also have a little storage space down there, as well as under this armrest if it's not up. We have an extra plug-in down here. It would be nice to have USB ports back here for your passengers. We do get the bright lights just like we do in the front. Grab handles up there, right there, over here, and up there, so it's easy for everybody to get in. As I showed you earlier, always nice to have a center armrest with cup holders. One thing that I would like to see is rear seat air vents, either behind the console or in the doors, something like that. Under the hood of the Silverado, we got 3 power plant options. You can get a 4.3 liter V6, a 5.3 liter V8, or a 6.2 liter V8, which is extremely powerful. In this Silverado LT Z71 that we have today, we have the 5.3 liter V8, which pushes out 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. This 4-wheel drive LT Z71 model that we have gets 16 miles per gallon in the city and 22 miles per gallon on the highway. If you go with the 2-wheel drive, you'll get 23 miles per gallon on the highway. We have the 6-speed automatic transmission, but an 8-speed automatic transmission is available if you move up in trim level. What do you say we hop in and take it for a drive? We are in the Silverado right now. Gonna go for a test drive. Right away, my first impressions are that this thing is a lot bigger than my 2006 Silverado that I had, and I like it. The hood is really big and brawny looking. It makes a big, wide appearance as you're looking out front. Initially, it seems to be really quiet. These are triple sealed doors, and Chevy made some changes compared to the last generation of having them inlaid in the body, which definitely helps with noise, and I could tell the second that I shut the door. So that's the 5.3 liter V8 that you hear right there, paired with the 6-speed transmission. There's going to be no problems with that engine for just about everybody. If you really need to tow more weight, you can always opt for the 6.2 liter V8, which is over 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. But this one with 383 pound-feet of torque is plenty. As I got up to speed, I could really tell, like I was saying earlier, this thing is really quiet. The brakes are responsive. These are pretty big brakes on this truck, and they do a really good job of getting you slowed down. It's got a good feel to it. It's not too touchy. It's not real soft. My 06 Silverado had softer brakes than what I felt comfortable with for a vehicle of that size. There's that engine again. So the 6-speed transmission is smooth. Just in regular driving, it's really smooth. It seems to shift pretty quick. I'm curious to see how that 8-speed shifts in the higher level trims. So with this Z71 package on this Silverado, we have a different suspension with the Rancho shocks than you would typically have. I'm on kind of a bumpy, wavy road right here, and obviously you can see me moving in the cab, but overall it's really composed. I mean, it's really comfortable. It soaks everything up really well. Everything in here feels like it's buttoned down pretty good. In small situations, the steering is light enough to really be pretty easy to handle and get around. Once you get up to speed, the steering has a pretty decent weight to it, so I really like the overall feel of this steering. Once the RPMs get a little higher, you can definitely feel the engine get into its power band. You can feel it kick in pretty well. Even though, like I said, this has the Rancho shocks and it's an off-road suspension, driving around just small bumps and things like that in other parts of town, you can really tell that this thing soaks everything up really well. I mean, I prefer driving a truck over a car. I just like how well it dampens some of the bumps. You know, you have more rubber on your tires, you have more play with your wheels. It's just a fun vehicle to drive anytime you're in a big, powerful V8 truck like this. In my time so far, I've found myself comfortable with these seats. I always appreciate being able to have lumbar support. If you really need leather seats, you could always upgrade to the High Country trim or even just the LTZ trim, and you'll get plenty more of the luxuries that you might find in some other high-end vehicles. Going about 50, it is really quiet in here. I just hit a pretty good-sized little rumble on the road, and I barely noticed it. And there's a little bit of wind noise, not much. There's going to be a little bit of tire noise, of course, with a pickup like this. But overall, I'm comfortable. I like where everything is. The screen seems to be in good distance. The steering wheel is comfortable to hold on to. When I go around these turns, these seats are kind of wide, but it holds me in place good enough. And I think the cloth has something to do with that because it grips you a little bit better. We'll take a sharper turn, almost a U-type like turn right here, and see how tight this steering is. Now, of course, there's going to be a little bit of body roll being in a truck, but I felt confident. It was composed going around that turn. And even at lower speeds, when you put your foot on the gas, it's pretty responsive with its acceleration. just a short period of time, I've gotten really comfortable driving this thing. Some of my final thoughts with this vehicle is, if you're going to be using it as a family hauler plus a weekend, working truck, this thing is great. You've got good legroom in the back. It's comfortable. You've got good power. You've really got pretty good fuel economy, especially considering a V8 engine like this. This truck is plenty capable if you're going to be working with it, towing over 10,000 pounds, 12,000 pounds if you have the bigger engine, over 2,000 pounds of payload, which is plenty for just about anybody. And obviously we don't have the highest level with this 2018 Chevy Silverado LT Z71. This is about right in the middle, and the really cool thing is you can customize with a lot of different trim levels, ranging from like a midnight edition, red line edition, even the LS down at the bottom or the high country down at the top. There's a Silverado for pretty much anybody. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I want to thank Britain Chevrolet for letting me show this to you guys. This is a really nice truck. They'd be happy to help you out in Greenville, Texas, by the DFW area. I hope you enjoyed this review. Leave your comments down below. I want to know what you think of this truck. And by the way, Chevy is redesigning the 2019 Silverado. So this is the last generation, the last model of this generation you can get. Thank you so much and have a great day. And don't forget to subscribe. Hey y'all, thank you so much for watching my video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do down below for new weekly videos every single week. Also hit me up on social media. Find the links down below in the description for Prime Autotainment. Once again, leave some comments down below, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next week.